usually people can't take the jokes anymore, and they literally just look a bag. This is all right. That you made it, thank you. And everybody is so timely. Our next stop is going to be back to the cruise ship. I'd say the drive is going to be about, this is a friend of mine, about 25 minutes, maybe a little bit quicker, depending on traffic. But if you haven't seen the salmon yet, don't worry. Start looking on the right side. You'll see a bit of a ditch right here in the trees on the right side. And in a moment, you're going to see the sockeye salmon swimming in the water. The beautiful red fish coming up in just a moment. Okay, start looking on the bottom right now. And you're about to see water. There should be salmon swimming there right now. Do you see the salmon right there? Oh, there's one right there swimming. You see? There is one right there swimming. Yes, usually there are more, but they're kind of, yeah. That's the sockeye salmon, yes.
Very nice.
Oh, look, there's another one right there in the water. You can see. You see how the gray color is? You see how they say the gray? Which means they're about to die. Yeah. And look, there are more of them swimming right there. You can see the water rippling on the right side, right there past the trees. Wow, that's a big one right there. Wow,
big one.
That is big. Right, folks, we gotta get going. That was, can you smell? Can you smell from the air? The salmon, the salmon are literally the end of their cycle. About a week ago, there were hundreds of them swimming. But right now, these are all that's remaining. At the end of the cycle, the sockeye salmon, they just become gray and they slowly pass away. But it's okay, it's natural. Yeah. In fact, these salmon, they swim from the ocean, swim to the little rivers right here to the MAH010 lake, they reproduce and then they pass away. That's alright though, but you can smell it from quite a distance. By the way, has anyone seen any animals out there? No? Fish? Birds? Yeah? Alright, no? Okay.
A raven.
A raven. Raven is good. Very intelligent. Yes. Has anybody seen porcupines? No? It's okay. Check it out. As we're driving, start looking at the trees. Not the simplest fruit to the hemlocks, but the smaller trees. And usually at the top of the tree, you will find those brown, gray little fur balls. And those are going to be the porcupines. Porcupines are so agile. Porcupines can climb to the top of the tree and they can jump from a tree to a tree. It's really cool, yes. But I think on the way back I'll tell you some stories about bald eagles. You've seen bald eagles, so I'll tell you a couple of stories. Everybody knows that when two bald eagles love each other very, very much, they'll fall in love and they will stay together for the rest of their lives. Everybody knows that. But very few people know that when two bald eagles are not happy, they can and will get a divorce. One bald eagle leaves the nest and the other one keeps it. So the question is, who keeps the nest? Is it the male or the female bald eagle? Who keeps the nest? What do you think? Yeah? Oh, come on. No, it's the females. They always keep the nest. Yeah. Some say they also keep the nest egg, but that's a different story. Yeah. I've read this interesting article that's saying that the females and the males are making a nest, and occasionally the female bald eagle will drop the little branches of the nest intentionally for the male bald eagle to pick them up. And if the male bald eagle doesn't pick up the branch, the female drops intentionally, he is going to be in real big trouble. That's alright. Yeah. Alright. Let's go back to the happy bald eagle couples. Let's say they're happy, and the same bald eagle couple make a nest, and every single year the same bald eagle couple will come back to the same nest every year, the migration, and they will make the nest bigger. According to the World Guinness Records, the heaviest, the largest bald eagle nest in the whole world is over 1.5 tons. 1.5 tons, that's big. Yeah. Largest bald eagle nest in the United States is 1.01 ton and is over 16 feet long. It's enormous. It's located in a place called St. Petersburg, Florida. Yes, alright. I have to spice things up a little bit, and I am going to ask you all a question. See if anybody knows the answer. Last month I had about 20 people who got this one right. Let's see if anybody knows the answer. Be creative. The question is, what do you think kills the most bald eagles in the state of Alaska? I'll ask again. What do you think kills the most bald eagles in Alaska? Anybody?
People.
People. I love that answer. People would probably be the answer in other states, but not in Alaska. I love your bravery though, that was really nice. Anybody else?
Eagles, yeah.
Other bald eagles. Wow. Good answers, really smart. Bald eagles are very territorial, especially when the females and the males are protecting their nest. There could be fatalities and injuries, but it's not number one reason. Good one. But no. Anybody else? Pollution. Oh, okay, let's put pollution, poisoning in the same category. Although there's a rising cause of deaths of bald eagles in Alaska, but not number one. So, let me tell you some of the funny answers that I heard before I tell you the real one. Someone gave me a really funny answer of what kills the most bald eagles in Alaska, and he said, bad jokes. So bad. It's almost as bad as bus drivers. I haven't got one yet. Yeah, alright. Here's the real answer. What actually kills the most bald eagles in the state of Alaska is fish. Fish. Fish kills more bald eagles in Alaska than all of the regions combined and more. It's an amazing fact, but it just doesn't make sense. So, I am going to explain. And the bald eagles do not choke on a bone, and they do not get poisoned by mercury because of that. It's something else. You see, when bald eagle has those big nails, big claws called talons. When a bald eagle sees a prey, it swoops down, grabs that prey and flies away. But the bald eagle cannot release its prey mid-air. The bald eagle must first land before it can release its prey because it's using all its muscle concentration for flying. The bald eagle must first land. With that said, when a bald eagle sees a fish, it swoops down, grabs that fish. But the bald eagle doesn't always see how large the fish is. Yeah. When a bald eagle grabs the fish, if the fish is too big, the fish will simply dive into the water and drown the bald eagle. So number one cause of death of bald eagles in Alaska is fish by drowning. Fascinating. Yeah. I was actually surprised when I first heard that one, how the hunter becomes the victim. Yeah, that's alright. Sometimes people do. Sometimes don't. It's alright. I'll ask an easier one next time. But you see, it's fairly common for local fishermen to pull out large nets of fish, and there would occasionally still be a bald eagle attached to some of the larger fish out there. Yeah? Alright. Yeah. Let me ask you an easier question. Last month I had about 30 people get this one right, and they made it even easier. It's called him. Every single one of you knows the answer, even the kids. The question is, what do you think is the number one industry in the state of Alaska? What do you think is the number one industry in Alaska? For the kids, what do you think makes the most money? Number one industry. What do you think? Mining, I love that answer. Mining is number 4. Really good. Tourism, getting closer. Tourism is number 2. Salmon fishing. Fishing is number 3. You got 2, 3, 4. Really, you're missing 5 and 1.
Wood.
Wait, beer? No, beer's funny. What'd you say?
Wood.
Wood, okay, lumber, timber, number 5. That's not bad. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wait, who's that oil? Raise your hand. Give a big clap. You got it. Well done. There's oil. The woman in the back said oil as well. Well done. I saw both of your hands. Good job. Oil. such a big industry. Good job by doing. Good job. Oil is such a big industry in the state of Alaska that 31% of all of the jobs in Alaska are oil related. That's over 110,000 jobs on average a year. A lot. But you see, the oil companies do not own the land where the pipelines run through. The oil companies rent it out from the state of Alaska, and the state of Alaska gives the money back to the people. So every single resident who lives in Alaska receives up to $2,000 every single year from the state. If you get a family of 6, a potential $12,000 a year. That's a lot of money. Yeah? But the people are not happy. The people want more money. And they're winning. Starting next year, really good chance. Every single resident in Alaska will receive up to $3,000 every single year. Have I convinced anybody to move to Alaska yet? No? Okay, no, I tried. Alright. Second largest industry in Alaska is tourism. Tourism is over a $2 billion industry in Alaska. It's going to overcome tourism is going to overcome oil as number one industry in about 33 years, they say. Juneau, the city where we are, gets roughly about 1 million visitors a year. 93% out of all the visitors coming to this city come from the cruise ship. Folks like you. So thank you so much for supporting the local economy. Very important for us. Thank you. Last 6% comes from the airplane. Last 1% out of those 1 million visitors to Juneau come from the ferry by cars. Because you cannot drive to Juneau. That is impossible. You can't. This road is the longest road in Juneau. It spans for 38 miles. That is on one side, that is on the other side. And to get here, you must take the ferry. It's okay. Oh, there you go. Back alive. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying, but it's okay. You see, some of us forget things. What my parents told me something reassuring. They say when you forget things, it's a sign of genius. So I'm getting smarter and smarter every single week. That's alright. Oh wow, okay, this is lucky. Bald Eagle, really close. Coming up in front of us on the left side, sitting on top of a light post. On the left side, not on the right side, on the left side. The right side, it's a raven. On the left side, you see a passes traffic light. On the left side, on top of the light post, there's going to be a bald eagle, a bird, white head, black tail, white body. Right there. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, very beautiful, very beautiful.
Wow.
It's probably a model.
That was our first official close bald eagle for the trip. Really nice. Folks, I want to share a secret with you. I told you before that bald eagles become mates, they stay together for the rest of their lives. So when you see two bald eagles sitting next to each other, they're mates, they're coupled. Here is a local secret, and you can tell the gender difference between a male and a female bald eagles. When two bald eagles sitting next to each other, the male will sit on the left side, and the female will sit on the right side. Because women are always right. Yes. I see, you know. Alright, there you go. Alright, that was a bad joke. Oh, it is still low tide, which is nice. If you want to see dead salmon, probably about 10 of them, and a whole bunch of salmon trying to jump to the rocks, Salmon Creek is going to be coming up on the right side. So get ready. There's going to be a little creek, Salmon Creek. It's a low, it should be less sand, but there's still enough to see them jumping through the water. Right there on the right side in the creek, look, you should see the salmon jumping, and some there might be even dead. Yeah, I see a couple of dead salmon right there on the right side. Look, if you see something swimming in the water right there? Yeah, it was kind of tough to see. There are a few of them. I'm gonna go fishing there in about 4 hours. Yeah. By capturing the salmon, you can join me for dinner. You know where I live. I think by probably about 8 p.m., maybe 8:30. Just bring a beer or a bottle of wine and we'll be happy to share the salmon with you. So it's really easy. We don't use bait, we use lures, snagging lures. Big piece of metal or hooks on the side, just toss it in, they reel it in, you get a salmon. Really easy. Right side this building, we passed it earlier, that is the Juno Salmon Hatchery. Let me share a fact with you, so fascinating. It is scary. Every single salmon that comes out of the hatchery, there's 210 million salmon from one hatchery every year. There are 30 such hatcheries, billions of salmon. Every single one of those salmon that you purchase in markets, swim to those waters, has a barcode in their head. The same barcode that you scan in the supermarkets. Yeah? Let me explain. Every salmon's got a bone in their head called the salmon ear bone. It's at the very center of the skull and between the eyes. With that said, when a bald eagle sees a fish, it swoops. Oh, so wrong statement. All right. So it has a salmon ear bone in the head. So when the hatchery hatches the salmon, the hatchery does thermal marking on the salmon. They change the water from hot to cold, and this creates perfect controlled lines on the salmon ear bone inside the head. Those lines make a barcode, and the barcode says, this salmon is in this hatchery, hatched in 2019, and there are more facts written on the barcode. It's amazing, but there is more. Since most salmon that you purchase in other states in USA comes from Alaska, next time you go to a supermarket grocery store, purchase the largest salmon head you can find. Watch a YouTube video how to remove the salmon ear bone from the salmon's head and scan it with your cell phones. Seriously. Scan the salmon ear bone with your cell phone. See what kind of information you're going to get. A lot of you still have a doubtful look in your eyes. I can just see the should I believe it, should I not? No, I can tell. If you want to fact check this, go to the Juno